very important, very interesting, very anticipated session. I was looking forward to this day a lot. And I present the speaker with a little piece of terror in my heart, because I don't know any other person who knows public speaking and hosting better than he does. It's David JP Phillips, and for those who don't know, he studied 5,000 of the world's greatest speakers to discover the 110 steps of communication, or 110 skills of public speaking. You can find his TEDx talks all over YouTube. They are amazing. I definitely recommend you to watch. And today he will be talking about thoughts, leaderships, angels, devils, and cocktails. Well, we will see what's that going to be about. So David JP Phillips, stage is yours. Wow, that background. He knows how to present himself.
It is such a pleasure to be with you. I was with you about 3 or 4 years ago. That was batshit, that was insane. You were like the best audience I've ever had. I was high as a kite for a week after that. That was amazing. Today I couldn't make it to you. I am currently in Sweden, in Västerås, broadcasting to you live. And just for you to get a perspective of where we are, this is what it looks like outside currently, and this is the house that we're in. And if you walk through that door a little bit further into the right, this is where we are, and it looks like this, if we have camera 3 markers. So this is the studio. Normally I can see you all over here, but now you are sitting in an ocean of chairs, which I can't see, but I hope that you will give it all anyway. My promise to you is this: I'm going to present to you the world's most important skill. The most important skill you can learn in your entire life. Anything that you study on university, anything you study in college, doesn't even come remotely close to this subject. And that subject is the subject of self-leadership. You see, leadership, being a leader, is taking someone from somewhere, wherever they are, and making them great. Self-leadership is the ability to take yourself and make yourself great. Not being a slave to your instincts, your emotions, and what's ever happening around you. You control that. That is your narrative. That is your life. You create who you want to be. Not a product from your parents, your siblings, your friends, from media, or whatever you consume. So I'd like to give you an idea of why is this so important. And in order to do this, I'd like to share with you a cocktail. Cocktails are nice, isn't it? I heard this was day 2, so maybe some of you have had a cocktail, who knows? I'd like to share with you what I call the devil's cocktail. Now, the devil's cocktail is just 50% cortisol, 50% adrenaline. It's like pure stress and prolonged stress. And I'll ask you to drink that. And within a minute, there will be smoke coming out of your ears, red-glowed eyes, froth around your mouth, and you'll be saying no to things you normally say yes to. You'll be negative. You will be hurtful. You won't give away compliments. You'll give away criticism. We don't want you like that, do we? No. This entire conference of build stuff, we want people to be happy, to smile, right? So hey, why not have an angel's cocktail? An angel's cocktail consists of hormones and signaling substances in your brain called serotonin, oxytocin, endorphin, dopamine, sprinkle of cortisol. And now I'll ask you to drink that. And within a minute, you will become, like metaphorically, you will fold out angel wings. You'll give the person to the right a kiss. Have a look at the person to the right of you. And you go like, whoo, that was unexpected. You'll go like, hey, tap the chap on the shoulder in front of you. You'll go like, do you need money? I've got plenty. Oh, you look amazing. I love that coat. You start giving compliments. You start treating yourself. You start being kind to yourself. And you start to feel truly motivated, powerful in life. So my question to you is this now. Can you relate to that you sometimes in life, you've drank the devil's cocktail and sometimes you drank the angel's cocktail and sometimes you drank something in between? Oh, absolutely. Isn't that the case? Nod if that is the case. Look around you, people are nodding. But you never drank that cocktail. So where did it come from? That's what I'd like to teach you today. That's the information, the knowledge I want to give you today. During this 1 hour, will give you that skill, the most powerful skill in life, on how to mix your own angel's cocktail, i.e. to own your self-leadership. So my promise to you is that you will get so much good, hardcore stuff that you can use immediately when you leave this conference. So get your pens and papers, your mobiles, your computers out, see that you make notes of the stuff I'm going to take you through. Now the question then is this. Is this important and why is it important? I want to share 3 studies with you. And the way these studies work is that you take a group, so imagine you take the room that you're sitting in, half of you will now be primed to a devil's cocktail. So half of you will spend 10 minutes thinking negative thoughts, watching negative videos, reading negative news. Half of you will do the opposite. Think 10 positive thoughts, look at 10 positive videos, read positive news, right? You'll do that for 10 minutes. So this is how these studies work. You prime them into different behaviors. And then you ask them to do the various tasks. And these are the 3 studies I want to show you just how powerful this is. Have a look at this. The first study, they showed them this photo. And then they asked both the groups, the devil's cocktail and the angel's cocktail group, how much do you remember from this image 4 weeks later? It turned out that the people in the angel's cocktail group remembered more details and more colors 4 weeks later. Do you comprehend what that means? To you, that means that the days when you feel amazing or good or even just fairly okay, you will remember more details and colors, more impressions from that day than the days when you have consumed a devil's cocktail. This is your life we're talking about, not a study, not an image. What do you remember from life? Second interesting study was this, and this is scary. They asked doctors. They primed them, devil's cocktail, primed them, angel's cocktail, and then they asked them, can you do a diagnosis? And the doctors who were primed according to an angel's cocktail had 19% more correct diagnosis. 19%. That means that 1/5 of your health, my friend, 1/5 of your health depends on if your doctor has good self-leadership or not. When they were sitting in the car queue this morning and somebody went, honk! And they didn't run out of that car and beat the other car up with a bat. Depending on their self-leadership, 1/5 of your health depended on that. But that was not just all. It showed that the doctors who had an angel's cocktail, i.e. were primed positive before meeting the patient, was also 3 times more creative. Now I know that the majority of you're techies, right? And that you're not doctors, but you take decisions every single day. And your ability to take decisions is based on the emotional state you are in. So if you wait until you're in a better emotional state, you will take a better decision. Let me give you an example. Imagine that you're sitting by the computer. You're typing away. Somebody sends you an email criticizing your code. And you can see it just pop in the corner. And just as it pops in, the preview, you can feel the pain. It's almost physical. It feels like somebody stabbed you. That criticism, and you start reading the email and you go like, oh no, I'm not having this. Oh, I'm going to kick this butt's ass. Oh. You start typing, you go, you send off an email to them with hate and a nice little Trojan hidden in an executable in there as well. I don't know. Anyhow, like you go like, 40 minutes later, are you happy with the decision to make this? to do this? No. 40 minutes later, when your devil's cocktail has declined and you're coming back to homeostasis, you go like, oh shit, did I send that? Oh my God, I hope it's still stuck in my outbox. Oh no, it has been sent. Oh my God, this is crazy. What should I do? And then some people come up with a weird idea that I'm gonna retract the email. So they go like, where did I do that? You go into this submenu, that submenu, into that setting, and then you can retract the email. But that's even worse, because you know what that does? It just sends another email to that person saying that the person wishes to retract their previous email, which is weird. Why would anybody build a function like that? It's not strange that it's hidden. Right, so what is self-leadership in this case? You know it. What is it? It's you see the email, you read the email, you step away, you come back to it after an hour, and then you type your answer. Even better, you go home and you go to sleep at night. You wake up and then you answer. Even better, you type your answer so that you get to describe how you feel. You save that email, and then you go home and you go to sleep, and then you send it. Even better, you type the email, you go home, you go to sleep, you come back, you delete the email, you call the person because you know that communicating emotions through text is a bad idea. Now this is self-leadership, owning practically every action you do in life. You own it with your prefrontal cortex up here. This is the area of your brain that can control your instincts and your emotions. Now this one on high alert will make you into an insanely amazing human being. But if you are reactive to your instincts and emotions, your limbic system and your reptilian system, you'll be a slave to your, be a slave to your instincts and emotions. And they are very short-sighted. They're like, I'm hungry, eat something, preferably with sugar and fat. It's like it thinks it's gonna die as soon as it gets hungry. It's weird. Right, study number 3. I find this one entertaining. They were asked to count smileys in a newspaper. Now there were 10 smileys in this newspaper. You could get $10 per smileys. That equates to $100, right? So which one won? Which one do you think? The devil's cocktail or the angel's cocktail? Which one? All right, if you're saying the angel's cocktail, I'm afraid that's wrong. And you go like, what? But you were leading me into that, David. I know. But pain is the best way to learn, right? Anyhow, so what do I mean? Well, you see, the people with the devil's cocktail find all 10 smileys and collected $100. But the people with the angel's cocktail, which means that you were actually right, the people with angel's cocktail, they opened the newspaper and on top it said, don't count smileys, collect $200. But you see, the people with the devil's cocktail, as you know it, when you're stressed, you get tunnel vision. You don't see the holistic picture. You don't see the big picture. Your decisions are way worse in that situation. I think that's fascinating. Now, I want you to just remember that I'm not just talking about studies, I'm talking about your life. This means that a person with good self-leadership, a person that can inject an angel's cocktail into themselves whenever they want to, sees more color, sees more objects, more impressions, take better decisions, they're more creative, they see the bigger picture, better decisions again. So let's move into this. Let me give you some actionable stuff. We're going to work from the brain, and we're going to have a look at the angel's and the devil's cocktail. We are going to predominantly look at the angel's cocktail, and we are going to start with dopamine.